Hello everyone. My name is Mary Lou. So glad to have you here today for this yoga session. So glad you showed up for yourself and created space for yourself. I will be teaching a beginner vinyasa flow. I will be offering modifications, meaning that, everybody's different. Every day is different in our bodies. So sometimes we need to modify the poses, right? And sometimes you might need to come to a seat. Feel free to do that. You'll practice your flow. I don't want you to feel like you have to do everything, right? Sometimes the challenge is just finding the stillness, and that is yoga, all right? So I'm not using any props today, so you're probably not using any props at home, but feel free to grab a blanket or a towel. We will be on our knees at times. So on our knees, you might want to roll the mat underneath or place a blanket or a towel there, or maybe bring a blanket or a towel to your forehead when we're in child's pose at any time. So feel free to do that for yourself. If you have blocks, wonderful. You can use them at any time too. I think that's it to get started, right? So let's get started. I like to start off with a breath, calm the nervous system down, really get the blood flowing, pumping to the heart space. All right, we're gonna start off standing and then work our way down and then back up. So let's go ahead and start off in mountain pose. Roll the shoulders back. I'm gonna palms facing out, fingertips spread here. So feel the openness here, right? We're working the thoracic spine, and sometimes we tend to lean in, right? We're at our desks all day doing this, right? Our computers, right? So we wanna open up here, open up that space. And then draw the curve of the tailbone a bit down. So see how I kind of arch in the back? So draw a bit down here. So not really seeing the total curve, our natural curve, but we don't want to overarch to create any low back pain, right? So we want to make sure the hips are aligned with the knees are aligned with the ankles in our mountain pose. All right, so open up, create space. Big inhale all the way to the crown of the head. Exhale, nice and loud. Right, feel that release. Inhale big. Exhale long. Beautiful. Next, inhale, bring the hands to the heart space. Exhale, drop the gaze towards the fingertips, or feel free to close your eyes here. We're going to set an intention for our class. Breathe in. Breathe out. And that intention is something personal, right? The intention is setting direction for yourself. And that can be a direction towards peace, towards joy, just towards movement, whatever you want it to be for yourself. Visualize that in your mind, right? Feel it. Emotion causes motion. Another breath in, breath out. Let's bring that intention to the sky. Inhale, arms reach up, palms up. Exhale, hands back to heart space. Beautiful. Inhale, let's bring those arms back up, hands back up. Exhale, hands to heart space. One more time. Inhale, arms rising up. And then bring the hands back down to heart space. Draw the gaze down towards the fingertips. We're going to drop the arms back down, mountain pose. Palms flipped up. We're going to inhale, arms back up to the sky. So inhale, arms reach up, palms come to touch overhead. Maybe gaze up. And we're going to float it down, forward fold. So the hands are going to move down the center of the body. And then feel free to bend the knees here. Head is heavy. And then feel free to straighten the legs a little bit here if that feels good, or just keep them a bit bent. Head is the weight there to carry you down, grabbing opposite elbows. Start to sway side to side. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep moving slowly here back and forth. Feel free to start to move the jaw around, releasing any tension there. Beautiful. Maybe flutter the lips. Don't be afraid to make noise in our practice, right? We gotta release the energy that we don't need and invite the energy that we do need. Breathing in, breathing out. Let's go ahead and release the arms. Just shake them out a little bit loose, like a rag doll. Shake that maybe a little bit here. Go ahead and bend the knees a lot here. You're gonna bring your hands to your shins, and I'm gonna start to straighten the legs, lengthen up through the arms. We're gonna draw the elbows in. Torso is gonna start to parallel the mat. Crown of the head reaches forward in the inhale. And then feel free to bring your hands under your thighs if that feels better for you, or your shins. Just avoid the knees. Our knees are precious. Draw the shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale, fold back into the legs. Let's do that twice more. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, flat back, hands to shins or thighs. Lift up. Crown of the head reaching forward, and exhale, let it go. Now here we're going to bend the knees a lot so the chest is coming on top of the thighs. Fingertips might be touching the mat here. We're going to step the right foot back. So you might be able to hop it all the way back. You might lift the heel just a bit here and then step halfway back and then step fully back. All right. Then gently drop the right knee down. Coming up onto the fingertips, uncurl the back toes. Feel free to keep them flexed if that's more balance for you here. Make sure this knee is over the ankle and it's drawing inward and not going outward. If it's going outward, widen your stance, right? Create space for ourselves. That's a modification to do here. Now we're going to come up to a full low lunge, Anjaneyasana as it's called in yoga. We're going to bring the left hand to the thigh, right hand over the left. All right, we're here, right? Got it. All right, lift up through the torso, straighten that spine. Breathing in, breathing out. Just find the softness, let the shoulders roll down the back. You got this. We're going to inhale, arms up to the sky. So maybe come one at a time or both arms coming right up. Palms facing each other. Reach up through the fingertips on the inhale. Exhale, drop the shoulders down the back. Thumbs are pointing back, palms facing forward. Find the softness in the shoulders. Breathing in, breathing out. Now feel that lower belly lift and inhale in. Exhale out. All right, next inhale, draw the thumbs back. See if your gaze can go slightly up. Press into the top of the back foot. And then softly press into that front foot as well. So that front foot is pressing forward and that back foot, the top of the foot is pressing into the mat. All right, big inhale. As we exhale, flip the palms facing forward. We're going to float them all the way back down. We're going to come into a tabletop here, meaning your left knee is going to come to meet your right. So draw the left foot in, draw the left knee to the right knee. Coming to our tabletop, wrists are right underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. All right, flat back, so curling the tailbone down. Find that flat back again. Tops of the feet are down, pressed into the mat to support you. Press into the mat, shoulders rounding here. Take the gaze down, breathing in, breathing out. Let's start to make some subtle movement through the hips, right? So we're gonna start to make C shapes. You're gonna bump your hips side to side. Don't be afraid to exaggerate the bump here. Again, freedom of flow. We wanna find the freedom of flow. We're gonna move how we wanna move. We don't always get to do that, right? So you wanna do that here. Maybe you're gazing at your toes as you create a C shape. Take your time, creating that C shape, bumping hips side to side. You might feel that stretch up in the torso right above the hips there. Kind of pulling, right? So that's the stretch that we need. Stretching through the fibers of the body. Let's create that stretch that we need to move through our body. Breathing in, breathing out. All right, let's make our way back to tabletop flat back. We're gonna move through cat and cow. Some of my favorite moves in yoga is cat and cow, right? Breathing, connecting the breath of the body and moving through the spine. So we're gonna come to cow first. You're gonna drop the belly, you're gonna arch the back. Tilt the chin gently up, take your gaze forward, press firmly away, big inhale. Stay here for the exhale. Inhale again. As we exhale, we're gonna round the back. So push away and then chin towards the chest. Push away into the mat, rounding through the spine. Inhaling, stay here for the exhale. Let's come back to our cow. Inhale, drop the belly, tilt the chin up. Press firmly into the mat. Exhale again, keeping that firmness, press into the mat, round the back, chin towards the chest. Inhale again, cow. Exhale to your cat. One more time. Inhale, cow pose. Strong arms, arching the back. Exhale, round the back. Press firmly away into the palms, into the fingertips. Grip the fingertips into the mat. Inhale to your flat back. All right, let's move into downward facing dog, an upside down V. We're gonna flex the feet behind us so the toes are curled coming onto the mat. Walk your hands slightly forward, just a smidgen. Fingertips are still spread, so your wrists are a little bit before your shoulders. We're gonna start to pick up the knees, all right? Anytime we're in plank or downward dog, if you need to come back down to your knees at any time, feel free to do that here, all right? So we're gonna start to lift, press firmly into the mat, round through the shoulders, and then lift the hips up high to the sky, coming to our upside down V in downward dog, Adho Mukha Savasana. Feel free to keep a bend in the knees so you can straighten the legs here, reaching the heels back. Heels do not have to touch the mat. Let's just find our position here. Press firmly away. Again, grip the fingertips into the mat. Raise the knuckles a bit here. Find that movement in the hands first. We're getting grounded. So we're always starting from the ground up. Inhale big. As we exhale, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Find that softness. Let the head be nice and heavy. You're gazing towards your knees. And then start to turn the feet just slightly out so the knees are straight, moving straight ahead. They're not facing inward or going outward. All right, let's start to walk our dog. So start to pedal your feet, bend the right knee, bend the left knee. Don't forget to breathe. Inhale and exhale. Nice. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. Let's come back to the stillness of our down dog. Coming back to bend both knees just generously here. And then start to straighten the legs as much as you can. Let the head drop heavy and then slightly bend the knees. Press away into the palms so that your chest is trying to come towards the top of your thighs. You're just in that direction, right? Take the gaze slightly forward. We're going to start to walk to the top of the mat, back to our forward fold. So right foot steps forward, left foot baby steps all the way to the top. Take your time coming all the way through. All right, inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Let's come to stand. So bend the knees, heels sinking down to the mat. Flip your palms, inhale, arms up all the way to the sky. Exhale, hands into heart space. Drop your arms by your side, mountain pose. All right, I'm gonna do some breath work here again. So we started with breathing, right? But we're gonna get deep into the breath. This is called breath of joy. So it's really a great way to get more breath, more oxygen into the lungs. We don't always use our full capacity of our lungs here when we breathe every day, right? I don't know if you ever find yourself holding your breath sometimes when you're stressed or anxiety or whatever it may be, or just running around all day and you're like, oh, I haven't taken a full breath. So this is gonna invite more breath in. So breath of joy, I'm gonna face you here, is 3 breaths in and then an exhale folding over. Now, if you have any trouble with breathing, you can simply stand and do the breath work here nice and slow. Go a little bit quicker at your capacity, right? If you start to feel dizzy at any time, you're just gonna stand in place and breathe. So we're gonna inhale, arms out, inhale, arms back up, exhale, fold over, bend the knees. Inhale, coming all the way up. Inhale out, inhale again up, exhale out. So the exhales in between are kind of passive as you inhale through the nose, inhale again, inhale, exhale. Start to move through the pace, inhale. Keep that movement going, even if you mess up, right? If you trip up. Find your movement rhythm back in. And don't be afraid to be loud. 2 more times. 1 more time. Hang over the legs. You got it. Shake out the head, shake out the arms. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to our flat back, hands to shins, shoulders roll back, torso raised, front of the head reaching forward. Inhale. Exhale, fold it back in. Bend the knees. We're going to step the left foot back, all right? So left foot draws back, maybe halfway, maybe fully. Gently drop the back knee down. Make sure the right knee is over the ankle. Make sure it's not going out. Make sure it's going in. If you need to widen your stance again, right? So low lunge again. If you need to roll the mat, bring a blanket, whatever you need for your knees. Let's come up to our low lunge. So right hand to the thigh, left hand to the thigh. Roll the shoulders back, lift up through the torso, breathing in, breathing out. All right. If you're sinking down too much and this is too much on the hip, you can always press to the heel and lift yourself up, okay? So you don't want to over-exaggerate if it's too strenuous here. So feel free to lift up here. And the back of the foot is down, you can flex the toes for more stability. Find that balance for you, right? If you're wobbly, no worries. Shaking is always normal in yoga. Squeeze that inner thigh energy towards each other, right? So if you find yourself splaying out, come bring it in. Navel drawing in, nice tightness in the torso there and in the abs. I almost lost the word there for abs. All right, so let's bring the arms up to the sky. Inhale, arms reaching up overhead. Exhale, shoulders dropping down the back. Energetically reaching fingertips up. Exhale, draw the shoulders down. Next, inhale, draw the thumbs back, take the gaze up. Slight back bend action happening here. Exhale. Inhale, let's flip the palms forward. Exhale, flip the hands all the way down. All right, this time we're gonna step back to plank pose. Flex the left foot. Toes are gonna come onto the mat. Lift the left knee. Step the right foot back. Feel free to drop to your knees at any time if you need to. Reaching back through the heels if you're up in your full plank. Round through the shoulders, press firmly away. Hips, if they're dropping down, lift them up to be shoulder height. You don't wanna drop into the low hips. Here, the low back. You're gonna wanna hurt the low back doing that here. Navel drawing in. And then start to lower all the way down. Bring the elbows in and then scoop the chest forward. You got it, baby cobra. Let's move back to child's pose. Bend the knees, bring the knees wide. Reach the arms forward, 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 forehead down to the mat. Few breaths here, right? So stay in your child's pose. Knees can be as wide as the mat here. We want to make sure you have space enough for your torso, your belly. If you want to bring the knees together, that may be more comfortable for you here, reaching the arms forward, that's fine. Forehead might come down to the mat, or you might want to bring a blanket or a pillow there. So stay in your child's pose, reaching the arms forward. Feel free to drop the elbows down, but as you inhale, reach fingertips forward, and exhale, sink the hips back toward your heels. All right, few more breaths here. Inhale, exhale. One more beautiful breath in. Exhale, let it all out. All right, let's come back up to our tabletop. So palms coming underneath the wrists, knees coming in underneath the hips there. Going to cross your shins behind you. So you're going to cross your feet. We're going to come to a seat. We're going to close out our practice. All right, so feel free to cross your legs here. This is Sukhasana. Feel free to bring the long out in front of you. All right, so find your comfort zone there. Remove any flesh away to get into the sit bones, the end of the tailbone there to sit down into the mat. On the inhale, roll the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, let that go. All right, hope you're feeling a little bit better than when we started, right? So move through the movements here to move through our bodies and find that relaxing techniques that we need, right? To release any tension in our bodies through the breath, through the movement. I want to thank you so much for joining me for this practice. Again, thank you for showing up and recognizing the power in showing up for yourself.